So for this video, we're going to build on some of the circle terminology that you learned in class through the circle terminology sheet. But first I want to talk about what we know about the degrees in a circle. You already know that there are 360 degrees in a circle, but I want you to understand how and why we know that. So first I'm going to draw a line through the center of this circle. That's a diameter, everybody knows that. Remember what the degree measure of a straight line is. You should remember that that is 180 degrees. So we know that this angle measure is 180 degrees. We know that this angle measure is 180 degrees. Well, what's 180 plus 180? 360. Okay, so the angle measures around the center of a circle add up to be 360 degrees. So whatever this angle is and whatever this angle is must add up to be 360 degrees. So now let's talk about the outer part of the circle out here. Okay? Now one of the terms that you defined was an arc, and that is a portion of the circumference of a circle. An arc is a portion of the circumference. This is an arc, okay? It is a piece of that circumference of the circle that has been created by the angles, or by the radii, I'm sorry. Okay, we have another one here that is another arc in the circle. So those are both portions of the circumference. Now, a minor arc is an arc that is less than 180 degrees. That means that a minor arc has to be less than half of the circle. So this would be a minor arc, and we name it with 2 letters. Okay, you need to add this into your minor arc. A minor arc has 2 letters. In this case, it would be arc BC. So BC, and then you put a curved line over it to be an arc. A major arc is an arc more than 180 degrees. So that would be this one. This is a much bigger arc. It is more than half of the circle, and we can't name it BC because then we would get confused on which one are you talking about. Were you talking about the minor arc BC, or are you talking about the major arc BC? So to fix that, we always use 3 letters to name a major arc. In this case, we would name it arc BDC. Think of that middle letter as a detour. You're telling yourself, I guess, that we start at B, we go around to D, and then we go to C. Okay, so that's a minor versus a major arc. So let's go back to the angles real quick. So again, we know that the degrees in a circle is 360 degrees, so we know that all the way around here has to add up to be 360 degrees. But we also know that the arcs themselves have angle measures, okay? The arc measure is what we call it. That arc measure also adds up to be 360 degrees. Now, a central angle is another term that you defined. A central angle is an angle inside the circle created by 2 radii with the vertex at the center of a circle. So here's your 2 radii with the vertex at the center of a circle. That is a central angle. All right, and that central angle has an intercepted arc. Okay, that is the arc that is created by that angle. This is the intercepted arc of the angle. Okay, so we have angle BAC, and we have the intercepted arc, which is a minor arc, BC. So you're going to be given measurements here, all right? You might be given that we know that angle BAC is 100 degrees, okay? Now we know that the angle measure all the way around here has to be 360, So if that is 100 degrees, then this out here has to be 260 degrees. So we now have two angles in this circle, and they add up to be 360 degrees. Now, the intercepted arc has a measurement as well. That measurement is equal to whatever the measurement of the central angle is. So if angle BAC is 100 degrees, then then arc BC is 100 degrees. Then major arc BDC, that arc measure has to be 260 degrees because the angle on the inside is 260 degrees. So that is a central angle. So down here, in a central angle, the arc measure is equal to the angle measure. Then we have one more type of angle, which is an inscribed angle. So here we have an angle in the circle that is created by two chords. So here's one chord, here's another chord, with a vertex on the circle. So the vertex has to actually be on the circle. Now, we have angle measures here as well. We have angle Y, X, Z. Okay, let's say that that angle measure is, let's say, 70 degrees. Okay, now your rule here is different than the one you just had. So we were dealing with central angles before, and with central angles, the arc was the same as the angle measure. With an inscribed angle, the arc is double. Hear that? Double the angle measure. So if the angle is if the angle is 70 degrees, that means that the intercepted arc, this one, has to be 140 degrees. So in an inscribed angle, the arc measure is double the angle measure. And that is it for this video. So you may have a couple more questions.